Good evening. It's time for our 8 o'clock update on this weather impact alert. This is the place to come. WLTX Plus is our streaming channel to get all the weather updates, in addition to our regular WLTX channel to get extra coverage and covering this event, 24/7 all the way through the weekend into Monday. This is where you come to get the latest. And when we're not actually on the air updating you, you'll see information, the radar and such on there. You can always get the radar there 24/7. So we're talking about the weather impact alert, and it runs from Saturday through Monday. Specifically, I would say, and I keep saying this, that the time I'm worried about the most would be Saturday noon to Sunday noon, and mostly Saturday evening, overnight Saturday into Sunday. That's the best chance to get that freezing rain. And freezing rain and sleet, the freezing rain is the worst, but sleet is a little bit better. But that's the time frame we have why can't we say freezing rain or sleet? Which one are we going to get? All the way through the about temperatures changing in the upper atmosphere. We can see only so much. And the ground has to be 32 or below the pavement to actually freeze the water droplets. But it takes a while for the ground to cool down and warm up. The power lines and branches and your roof of your house and everything else above the surface, it will be 32 or below a lot faster. So you might see freezing rain on the power lines, on the tree branches, which can fall and cause power outages, which is one of our biggest worries. But the ground might not see freezing rain, the pavement. Anyway, we're talking about Saturday and Sunday. Be aware. I say noon to noon, Saturday to Sunday, but you could still see freezing rain and sleet through the day Sunday, just less of a chance. And in the Monday, we start to see more rain. Now, let's talk about the wintry precip, first of all, because we get a lot of questions about this. Now, rain is just straight, it's cold way up above us, but it's warm from, that cold air all the way down to the surface, so you get just rain. Now, when you talk about, the chance for freezing rain, you have cold air, it warms up, it's a water droplet, and then the ground or anything, power lines, whatever, anything that's 32 or below, a water droplet will freeze on contact. That's the worst. That's freezing rain. And then you have sleet, which cold air runs into warm air, melts, it's back to a water droplet, and then it freezes in the air and becomes a little pellet or, a little ice ball. And that's, or it could be called grapple as well. But that's sleet, right? There's grapples a different type. It's like little balls of frozen precip. But sleet, is frozen precip. And then you have snow, which is cold from top to bottom, and you just get the snow. We're looking at a better chance for freezing rain and sleet than for snow. But there is some rain mixed in there. Now, they have expanded the winter storm watch to include most of the counties across the Midlands. Will they expand it farther? It depends. We'll see what the models say. There's still a chance for freezing precip for these other counties that aren't highlighted here in South Carolina, but less of a chance. Now, and they have thresholds before they issue the winter storm watch or warning. And the farther you go north of it in North Carolina, it gets worse. They could see 3/4 to an inch of ice accumulation. Now, they they expanded it for South Carolina. They upgraded from a watch to a warning for the pink areas here. And that's because they're going to see it sooner and they see what's going on there a little better. When will they switch to a warning, which is just a matter of time that you do it? Probably tomorrow, but it could be as soon as later tonight or maybe before the 11 even. There's a little purple here that's an ice storm warning. We could get that. Once again, we have to meet the thresholds there. I'll show you what we're expecting for accumulations in a second. This is not the system we're talking about. This is a cold front that is coming through. It's just going to give us, a chance for showers. We had a few raindrops today, but a chance for scattered or isolated showers as we go through tonight, tomorrow, into the weekend. Then the temperatures drop and we start to see the mess on Saturday. But overnight tonight, another comfortable night. I think we've been down to 35 this morning, 55 for a high. We're looking at about 40 for a low tonight. So relatively warm. The clouds really help there on top of the wind flow. And you can see about 55 for a high tomorrow, up to 60 in some areas. Then the temperatures get cold. So let's take a look at the next 72 hours. We're looking at medium range models all the way since last weekend when we first started mentioning this. This is one that goes out three days, and some go out 3 days and even a little shorter. So now we're starting to see the data there because this is running into the storm time frame. Now tomorrow, as we go through on this 72-hour model, this is our in-house model, you see a chance for showers tomorrow, all rain. all beneficial rain stuff. And, the cloud coverage helps with our overnight temperatures. Then we get into Saturday afternoon. Here comes that chance for frozen precip. It's mainly, late afternoon, evening when this starts. This one downplays the amount that South Carolina sees for freezing rain, but we have a chance for freezing rain and sleet in there. And then as you go north, you have more. And I'll show you the models that are showing a little bit more. There's the winter storm watch expansion. Like I said, it'll probably become a warning tomorrow or maybe even later tonight. Now here's the medium range model we've been showing you all week. There's that chance for, notice 6 p.m. to midnight chance. This is that critical time I was talking about, 6 p.m. Saturday through about noon on Sunday. See that chance for freezing rain, 6 a.m. Sunday, still a chance. You can see why they didn't include these southern counties. They have a better chance for more rain than freezing rain. 6 p.m. on Sunday, still a chance for freezing rain. Then we start to see a change over to rain as we get into early Monday morning. Hopefully that's all rain. But then we have to deal with the bitterly cold temperatures. Don't forget about that after this storm. What about totals as far as icy? Well, let's take a look at the other one first. The one that remember shifted the track a little to the north. It's about the same solution as the other model. Maybe a rain solution a little bit sooner. This is noon on Sunday. It has rain in there then, more rain there. So somewhere in between where the rain ends, probably later on Sunday afternoon when the rain starts to come into the picture. The rain ends actually late Sunday and into early on Monday. Now, 6 p.m. Saturday, you start to see some ice accumulations. The models actually agree really well on here. Now, the farther you go north, the better chance you start to see it 3/4 to an inch. That's really high. I mean, but for here, South Carolina and the Midlands, a tenth to about, a half an inch is certainly possible of ice accumulation. And, this model is about the same, the European model. And as you go north a little bit, this one's probably a little more realistic, but still, I mean, 8/10 of an inch, 7/10 of an inch, that is a lot of ice accumulation. And I think once you get above 1/10 of an inch, there's not much difference as far as hazardous driving. The difference is it's easier, 1/10 of an inch, or 2/10 is a lot easier to get off the road than 1/2 inch of rain. But they're treating the roads. Hopefully we can deal with the 1/10 of an inch. But I'm telling you, a lot of people don't know how to drive in ice. Even up north, they don't. You don't see it that often. So we got a chance for rain and freezing rain, especially late afternoon on Saturday, overnight into Sunday morning, and then hopefully we get a little more rain mixed in there. But there's a possibility we might see some more freezing rain Sunday night into early Monday. But then we deal with the bitterly cold. So just be aware of that. Let's say the worst case scenario. We get rain, freezing rain through the weekend. We get power outages like in 2014. They last for several days, and you're dealing with 15 degrees Tuesday morning, 19 degrees Wednesday morning. Make sure you have a way to stay warm without electricity if you can, okay? Because we might have to deal with that scenario. Of course, we'll be updating you on WLTX.com. This WLTX Plus will give you updates. You'll be able to see the radar all the time. And on WLTX tonight at 11, we'll have your latest. I'll have your latest forecast, and JR and Erica and I will talk about it. And then tomorrow morning, of course, the latest with Tim Miller and the gang. Stay tuned. We'll keep you updated throughout this winter event.